Hello. Oops. We're back. I haven't done anything at the beach because it's dark there. I just haven't been feeling it. Maybe tomorrow, maybe. It's going to be dark though. I won't be able to see the beach. You'll see nothing. I might just turn my camera off while you're at it. So we'll see how that goes. Priscilla's here. Keep an eye on things. Begging for treats. Taking up the space. So kind of going back to yesterday's, a little bit of Stephen King stuff. Of course, my channel is so buried. Golly, man. Either people are just not interested, or is this? I think it's part of it. But there's an unknown force. I get CIA to keep me out of the loop, keep my channel buried. But the MK Ultra stuff is, the house in The Shining, hotel. Yeah, because I wasn't really thinking about MK Ultra during that. Oh yeah, no doubt. that is a MK Ultra. Even the whole thing is very dreamy. None of it feels right. Even you say some horror. I can't think of any horror movie. I don't think of. What is it? What's the name of it? Clockwork Orange. That's about that, isn't it? Because they're programming him. That's about it. Of course, it has. Of course, that's Kubrick also. Jeez, that's. Just exposing himself, I guess. I didn't think about that. Yeah, Clockwork Orange comes to mind, but that's talking about it. But even the movie itself has violent imagery and all that. It implants in the mind. But The Shining has a sequel, and they have Dr. Sleep, has a predator being, which is hauntingly very realistic, looking for people with powers. Well, it's not really in the movie like that, but they do that on a energetic level. And like I said, I think I talked about that yesterday. Yeah, those that aren't aware of their abilities and they're already being haunted, they might have some idea of it, but they're not fully aware of who they are yet. And yeah, there's entities that are trying to take you down before you even get started. Haunt you, bring all these dark dreams. That's why people shut down too. They have their abilities activate, but they're just too afraid, which is understood. But there are obviously demonic beings that know who you are and just trying to take your soul, trying to get you off yourself too. So yeah, it's complicated. But yeah, even the MK. I'm not going to go too deep with this. I just put that in talks. I know what else put in there. You gotta be careful when you go too deep with anything. Of course, everyone knows everything, right? That's going really well out there in the spiritual community. Yeah, they know so much, they know everything, and they're being manipulated like a motherfucker. So, and that, all this manipulation on the new age groups and all that, that's obviously the audience has not healed themselves. And not to say they are trying or whatever, but if they're carrying around a lot of garbage and then you get pulled into a spiritual healer that's selling garbage, it's a journey to find oneself, right? Well, it's like a bad relationship. You get taken for a ride and eventually you wake up from it, maybe. I'm not sure how many are waking up from anything, but if they're even real at all. So, yeah, it's, oh yeah, they go to, those are carrying a lot of garbage around them, and they need to connect to somebody that's not really there to help them, just tell them what they want to hear. Trying to move things around here in my incense. It's going very well. Of course, I can't see anything. My eyes are shot. There you go. Okay, that didn't go anywhere. That wasn't meant to be, as they say. I had an incense that burned on both ends, and I didn't burn this. I didn't burn the other side of it. It burned itself. It did it itself. I don't know how it did. I took a picture of it. I kind of forgot about it. Yeah, it's odd. Yeah, this is kind of the MK Ultra stuff's kind of obviously you know, we can call it whatever we want, but it's the overall name of it. You can say it was the government word. Oh, people know what it is. Let's put it that way. And like I said, the New Age groups have been hit with it. Yeah, Illuminati, cult energies. Yeah. And some don't want to hear the truth, apparently. Yeah, it's too much. Well, it might make them feel good. There's different, like I said, tarot readers. Some of the oracle readers are under that spell. Not all of them, but quite a few are. Keep people confused. Whatever. Hey, you know what? That's their deal. Like I said, they're maybe not even aware of what to heal within themselves. They're not ready to see it. So you're going to take on some kind of journey, some kind of direction. Just focus on everyone but themselves, whatever it is they have to go through. The relationship energy, trying to make a relationship work when there's nothing there to make work. Nothing there to work out. So, yeah, like one of the tarot readers that, psychic people that died a couple years ago, and he kind of died, which I was surprised, because a universe like this, or a world like this, like succubus energy, because they seem to be big on it. I'm surprised that guy went the way he did. Yeah, I don't know how old he was, like 50, but he was pretty disgusting. That's what he thinks. But he was very much loved in the spiritual community, of course. You're a soul-sucking, parasite. I mean, when they give their souls up to a lower dimensional being, they get powers, to soul suck their audience and to get insight and things into their, and if someone hasn't healed themselves, they can tap into that realm because they're kind of haunting them already. It's like we can tap into your demons basically and see your future. It's like we can see into your your warped reality because we're pretty much creating it for you, so we can see it. Screw those angels and all that. We're not gonna see those motherfuckers. Screw them. So, of course, your reality is based on fear. A majority, which is, oh man, and they expect to go to this new Earth. It's like only new Earth the majority is going to go to is a manipulated version of it because they're not anywhere cleared or anything, nothing, as much as they think they are. Not if you keep getting your energy hijacked all the time. So whatever. Yeah, this stuff can get kind of scary. I mean, the real stuff can get. I don't really think of it that way. I'm kind of beyond that. I think I've always been beyond it. But yeah, it can get weird out there. Well, when you see these so-called spiritual teachers that are pieces of shit, see them for the garbage that they are. I could frighten a lot of people. It's like, wow, I thought I could try it. Holy shit, what the fuck are you? But that's not happening. They just go with it. Let the creature rule over them. And that's the majority. Nothing new there, right? Just like in the movies, the bad guy is the one that's popular, right? That's reality. Even your religions have a lot of that. A lot of um, whatever the Lakewood Church guy and whoever else. Yeah, just a hijacker energy. Basically, yeah, the Lakewood guy. I'm not gonna mention his name, but it's close enough. Yeah, it's like a double being, basically. Wealthy, lives the life. You can't. Well, he's more of a. You can't really. I mean, you can see it, but it's like, it's not as obvious as it is with others. But it's more like the tricks are being, so they can't always look like a demonic being. They have to kind of, you know, look less of that. Of course, the majority doesn't see anything anyway. So they have to go. It was a teenager world, so the teenager world has to go through its darkness, just like any other reality. So, so the MK Ultra frequency that's here, yeah, it's just that those aren't they're, you want to have this experience in the physical, and obviously in the astral, the fourth dimension, a lot of that's chaotic too. Not all of it, but a good portion of it is. So you come to the physical. So this is the physical version of chaos, basically. This is the astral physical realm, but chaotic, and this is complicated. It's different. But same tricks are beings that are here, that are in the fourth dimension. I mean, that's it. Not all the fourth dimensions, but not all the physical is bad either. It's a little bit half and half, I guess. There's a little bit. I think it's about the same. It's like there's a lot of darkness here and a lot of good. So it's about 50-50, I feel. So it's not. Yeah, it's half and half, but finding that the better half is more complicated. Some might want to see. So. Because a good portion of society is just telling themselves that everything's fine, they know everything, and they haven't healed their chaos, and they're just in the secret space program doing whatever, enjoying the mind control. Those that are selling the SSP, a lot of them are dealing with their karma, falling apart health-wise, deteriorate, turn into a skeleton. Whatever. Oh, I mean, it always shows that they're feeling bad, but they keep doing it though. They keep, some have conscious, others don't. I guess some just truly sell themselves out astrally to just screw it, right? So, and that's the lesson of reality. Well, it's connecting more to, the idea is to connect more to yourself, clear out all the noise around you, and just uncover your own mystery instead of listening to someone else's rhetoric, their information, because that's just there to taint your own and make it difficult to find your own self. Of course, they can help you also find yourself energetically, but you have to clear out what you've heard from others to figure out your own path, you can say. But of course, a lot of us aren't always aware of our histories. They're not supposed to see it for whatever reason. It's not time, but either way, as long as sometimes it's you're on that path to know at some point, but you're not supposed to know for whatever reason. You have to kind of like live out a timeline or a karmic timeline. Once you're out of that karmic timeline, then you can know certain things about your past life. So I don't even know about my past life, and I probably created hell, burned it down, created another hell, burned it down. Just kept building them. And that's war lifetimes. I was even connected to Genghis Khan too, some of that. I don't remember half the shit I've been involved with. So, yeah. And a lot of these New Agers that are, is Atlantean manipulation. Some that have no, the teachers supposedly, a lot of them don't have a soul. They're just empty vessels that have been used to manipulate society. That's been going on since the downside of, when I see Atlantis, the dark side of it, the downside, I just see the cults. I see just cult after cult after cult, different types, like you see in the New Age groups. It's very sophisticated. Well, to some level. A lot of them obviously are not seen publicly anymore. You know, we don't have a name for them. It's best you don't know. I know people want to know deep dive some things you just don't want to mess with. Because if you do tap into, I mean, you can do whatever you want, but you know, that's when you get like the energy stalkers and shit from a Stephen King novel. It's like, you keep tapping into our energy field. Maybe we should, you know, either mess with you or kill you. You never know. You can get all these attachments. That's what I mean. People want this deep connection, but you gotta be freaking careful. Even if you're thinking you have it all down, you still gotta be fucking careful. You know, you have to learn somehow, right? But MK Ultra energies, of course, that's in everything. It's modern reality. Well, it's you have to go through it. You know, the religious belief system. You have to take on some kind of, you know, belief system to be here. I wouldn't call it MK Ultra, but you have to. It's a belief system. You have to, it's a mindset, whatever. You have to have some kind of characteristics to enter this world. You have to have something. You know, some kind of roadmap to start with. Like you start with religion, but then you clear it out. Well, part of religion too is just you're familiar with it. But then you can also clear it. It might be something. There's good to bad to everything. So I'm just using that as an example. But even spirituality, as you can see, can be very easily hijacked. Yeah, the ego. They want to make you feel like you're big stuff, you're better than others, and that's a lot of the double energy doing that. Just like you're superior, you're a god, you're this, you're that, and it's like, fuck motherfuckers. Yeah, the joys of figuring this all out, right? The spiritual puberty. You're already going through enough as it is being a human, but the spiritual stuff, because you're like inside the egg, and you're to break out. You know, you're breaking out of the system, and obviously, these beings here are not going to make it that easy. And that's why the New Age energy is there to keep you locked into their mindset. You know, tell you know what you're doing, you know everything, you're the only one that can do this, which is fucked up. People actually believe that shit. You're the only one on the planet that has these connections. Like, okay, whatever. Can you, like, prove that somehow? Or are you going by what? Yeah, it's, so anyway. Enough of that crap. But yeah, The Shining is the mansion hotel. Yeah, man, it's such a dreamy mind control frequency connected. Even the maze, it has a maze, and that's the maze of the mind, where it's difficult to find your way out. You can self-sabotage yourself. You can burn yourself somehow. I don't know how that works, energetically or something. But you can't find your way out. But it just shows you how difficult all this is. But, you know, at least spirituality shows you're getting there. But it's not as easy as it sounds. You know, believing in yourself and everything, clear out all this, you know. But you know, if you want to climb out, you can. If not, you know. Yeah, it's complicated. I mean, you see my channel. My channel is so buried. I mean, I could put Palladian or Syrian in the title. That might get attention, but it's just, I don't feel like doing that. It's just I've done that in the past. It's kind of, you know, put Reptilian in the title. That might get some attention. It's like, yeah, whatever. Just, you know, of course I have more videos that have that stuff there. So, yeah. Not to play the game. It just isn't, yeah, screw it. They'll find it if they need to. Because this is the way out. I mean, this is the break. It's not all, there's no, you know, it's not fancy. It is difficult, but it's, I would say, more grounded, breaking out of the system. It's not roses. It's not, you know, you don't collect your $200 at the, you know, whatever it is, Monopoly. No, it's not that simple. But you get your soul back. The idea is to get your soul back, but you're not being under all these agendas. And it's not exciting. It's not supposed to be, because all the MK Ultra stuff, all that's fantasy. it's sugar, spice, it's all that stuff, and you clear all that out. Doesn't mean you have to eat porridge or something, but you know, because this is why it's hard connecting to others, people here. They should find you, right? You're just living, doing your thing. If other people are aligned like you are, you'll just find each other. But if you don't find anybody, people are not aligned at all, and they're not. And I think it's almost like you kind of know that. It's like they know they're like, I'm not coming out of this swamp anytime soon. You can kind of feel like they're in their own little dungeon. That's one way of looking at it, at least. And they're not a materialistic, whatever the hell it is, insecurity, fear, whatever. Feed themselves to the lions. Yeah. And of course, they have to go through it and all that. But at least, I guess, when they see those of you that are outside the system, you might be able to pick up on it if you even think about it. You might see, you might see them in their cage or whatever that they're in. It doesn't have to be that like that. It could be something lighter. But for some, they're in their cage. And they're feeding themselves to the lion, setting themselves on fire. Why me? Why did I do this? Blah, blah, blah. And just keep casting gasoline on themselves energetically. There's some like self-torture that's something to go through. But that's why you just got to keep being because as you see, not that mean you have to pay attention to everybody, but you might get the vibe where others are. You don't have to think too deeply into it. But those that, they kind of already know that you're unusual, not in a bad way. Maybe it is seen bad because you're so outside the system, like you're out, and they might hate you for it or whatever, or know that you're just. It's like you speak another language, basically. It's kind of like, technically you do in some ways because you're not in part of their system anymore. So you're part of your own, but you're also, for those that are neutral and not judging others, but you can probably feel how others are being under the system there. They have to go through whatever they got to go through. We've all been through it to some level, maybe not in this lifetime, some other lifetime. But it really shows, if you feel like others are either in their mindset and all that, because you probably picked up on it, but you might see it more clearly. It doesn't even have to go too deep into it, but either way, it shows that you're coming more out of the gate, where you don't need this programming anymore. You're kind of out. You're outside the wall of control. You're in some version of it, but you're not. You have to be part of something, but you're not. Overall, you're not in it 90% like others are. You might be in it for like 4 or 2. You have to function here somehow. You have to be part of something, but you're not under the psychosis of it. Like you're awake. The word they use. Maybe that's a better word for it. You're more awake and aware. For those that are awake and aware, some think they're awake and aware, not nowhere near, but whatever. Those that are actually awake and aware. Doesn't mean you have to know everything, see everything, aliens, or wherever. It doesn't even matter. You might pick up on their vibe. If you're picking up on the alien vibe a lot, obviously there's some validation there, or it comes naturally. It just shows the work that you're doing here. I don't feel so much the aliens there sometimes. I think I'm just doing energy work here and being a spirit guide. Yeah, the spirit guide stuff can be really, it can mess with you. One day I can probably go into it more clearly, but it's like helping someone out of, that's dicing themselves with gasoline all the time. Hopefully it's less of that at some point, but the idea is to guide them out of that, but sometimes they just enjoy doing it. So that's not energetically, it's not something I know physically, but I can feel it. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. You get insights, things that it's like, what the hell did that come from? So it's weird. I don't know why I'm supposed to see that, but it's just supposed to, whatever, it's part of the Yeah, because when you hear physically, you have because you're non-physical, you can do only so much. But here, physical, you're part of the system, so you get more, I don't know, leeway. You get more power. You can say you get more influence because you're part. You're going through all this crap. You get more of an edge if you were just a spirit being. Yeah, you can only do so much astrally, unless you get some poor schmo to come here to incarnate. Of course, you don't have to incarnate here forever, but you probably help. You find you're training others. You might even be around kids right now that you're training. So it's my trainee. So when I leave here and never come back ever again, they can keep coming back for 100, whatever, 500 lifetimes. You'd be surprised. um, but you need some kind of, and that's why you go through all the difficulties too, so you can get, you know, love it or hate it, but it's also get your rap sheet, your knowledge, your catalog filled up. Because once you leave here, you can't, it's knowledge. And if you feel like it's torture here, I mean, not that you're torturing yourself, but you feel others torturing themselves when you're getting data from that. Yeah, not to say you have to put yourself through that, but if you are going through stuff, you are filling up your dictionary, your knowledge, your Wikipedia, whatever of the Earth experience. Because once you leave here, that's it. Like the hoarding of knowledge is over. You still get some, but it's nothing like being here. So it's like you're in a candy factory, filling up your bag of candy constantly. It makes sense, right? Your Earth knowledge, you're just doesn't mean you have to experience ever. Just being here, you're just filling it up. You might see the news or whatever. You're still putting, and even those around you, you're learning psychological how they are. Where I work, some of the people are like, I'm like the poorest person there, but they're like middle class, but they're like teenagers because they're always flying and talking about places they've been to. It's so shallow, superficial. Just yeah, it makes you want to take a shower afterwards. It's not good, and those are poor people compared to the wealthy. The wealthy is probably 100 times worse. Not all of them are like that, but it's like you can't get more materialistic. It's like, oh my gosh, just just end it all, please. So, but there's some, yeah, it's like you might leave here and assist them on their growth if they want you to help them and end that shit. When you grow up, give me a call. I guess. I'm not talking if you're going to talk about flying everywhere and bragging to everybody. Oh, yeah, you go to Greece and it's like, what is there? Nothing. And you brag about it. It's like, fuck, man, you go to across the street and see that. Yeah, there's boring places in Europe you can go to. It's, and then brag about it. Whatever. So, whatever. I guess because the U.S. looks like a third world country. It's not all a third world country, but whatever. Doesn't matter. Yeah, when you have to escape to Europe and think that's like a good, I mean, it might be, but it's also an NPC way. They're just not really obviously ready to connect with themselves. Because it's, I don't know, just, if they go somewhere for peace and quiet, obviously they don't have peace and quiet within themselves. You should be able to find that anywhere, no matter where. It doesn't have to be a war zone, but anyway. I guess I'm going to. Oh yeah, speaking of, pick up the Syrians. Picked up this. I probably mentioned it here, but yeah, like the Syrians like to get like the Orions, the selfish Orions go conquer Sirius, and the Syrian beings come here, and yeah, their worlds have been decimated. They're under some kind of MK Ultra mind control. They come here, and everything gets worse. It's like, yeah, you might have some of that going on there. We're going to take it and just like triple it, or more than that, as you can see, because you can't really say what's on your mind Look at the racism shit that's going on. That's still going on. It's like, and how people are treated, like poverty and all that. It's gross. It's just the way animals are treated, for how we feed ourselves. Yeah, it's hell, basically. Yeah, it's very just low for, yeah, it's just how we have to eat meat to survive, right? But that has to do with the low frequencies here. If we start, when, like I say, this world's probably like, well, the animals though, but they learned from this. Like, okay, I don't want to have a human incarnation. I'll incarnate as a pig. I won't live very long, but that'll be enough for me. And the same thing with the chickens. You feel bad for them, but you know that's a light. It sucks, but then they're out of here. The rest of us are freaking stuck here forever. Of course, you can go to the, yeah, I don't want to go there, but the human cannibal. Oh, jeez. Yeah, where humans are served to reptilians or whatever the hell it is. Yeah, you don't want to think like that, but yeah. Yeah. Whatever you think, yeah. Unfortunately, I brought that up, but yeah. But the animals, yeah, it's, they're also here to help us while they're here energetically, if they can, if they're able to do that, but it's part of their earth experience, so it's just a short. And yeah, it can mess them up astrally, yeah. If you're a chicken and you're a chicken hen, when they're treated and they go into the astral realms and they're all screwed up, that someone might totally despise humans after that. The way they're treated as and seriously, I mean, they're served up as dinner here for humans, just for us to survive, treated terribly, and most people aren't aware of it. And they can go astrally and just depending, create it. The humans have an enemy now, and who knows what else. Yeah, so yeah, because a lot of astral beings can be very innocent, incarnate here, have no fucking clue what they're getting themselves into, and now they become part of a slaughterhouse experience. So yeah, sorry going there, but whatever. Yeah, it's not pretty, but at least that's another wake-up call of what kind of world this is. This is basically a hell planet, but it's many here are not. They're not here to. Majority, they need this experience, so it has to be extreme. I don't see world like this. Is why there's so many versions of Earth. It just has the right combination for soul growth, those that need to heal their darkness or dive deeper into their darkness. And you can't do it in the higher frequencies like that. So of course you can get high frequency and get so delusional and instead of being in the middle ground, you're too much of a positive being, but you're so delusional, it brings in dark. So you go to the extreme. Yeah, so they can incarnate as a villain. They come here and become terrible easily, yeah. And they have a lot of power, influence over others too. Well, because they have that high frequency energy, they come here and get corrupted somehow. And so why they can manifest money, a following, and all that, because they have that high energy, but they lose all those. They slowly lose all of that at some point if they keep abusing it. Yeah, they lose their power at some point. So it depends on how they do it. Yeah, so that's why Jake Paul comes to mind, that came out of nowhere. I don't know who that is. Isn't that one of those influencer people? Yeah, Jake Paul. So that's another one that's come from a Palladium being and just got corrupted here. And I think he's trying to not be a horrible. I don't know what kind of person he is, but trying to be terrible. It's funny how that came out of nowhere. So, and most people have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. So, yeah. Anyway, I do a quick Syrian connection on that. Okay. What's this? Brings me as Syrians. Well, one of the darker traits, basically, or the manipulative energies that Syrians go through, of course, your humans go through, is basically losing confidence in themselves, having it slowly deteriorate, And you can have that from different worlds. It's just you have a high vibrational world, but it gets attacked by somebody, a reptilian, whoever it is. And maybe you didn't see it psychically or something like that, and you feel kind of bad. And some that hold on to that, they lower their energy. And then you go to another world, something happens they didn't see coming or had difficult, and then they lower their frequency again and again and again. And they eventually come to this world, and they can reverse it, possibly. They can see it, depends on the situation. So they can go to the extreme of their darkness, or just see how it is. Those that have lost themselves, like, well, that's frightening. And, make a turn before they fall to the dark side or whatever it is. It's like, sometimes you need a world like this to snap out of it, snap out of your fall, so you can go back to a more neutral frequency. Yeah, because as you can see, many just keep falling. And that's, they haven't had that in other realms. But yes, it's like a cold or a disease. They can get addicted to it, addicted to being a victim, addicted to self-destruction. And at some point, they might be able to find their way back, but it's up to them. Yes, and they can go further and further dark. It all depends on their soul journey. Yes, they can pull into the lower dimensional, collective, and so on. Well, that's when they realize, they see how others are controlled. But you can also worry about how mind control and all that. But then they can come out of that realm and start controlling others and so on. And some have become very good at controlling society. As you can see in your society, just your individuals are very good at manipulation. But eventually, though, they have to get caught from the stop, though. They get addicted to it, getting other con frequency or con man energy. So in your path, you're finding what's best for you. Basically, the universe is like, you can do whatever you want. It's up to you. But realize there are consequences if you choose the dark side. Choose the light, so obviously there's consequences with that, because beings are going to come after you no matter what. But either way, know yourself. It's open to wherever you want to go with your frequency. And some might feel that's not fair and all that, but because so many have chosen to not find themselves here. It's like, why did I open up door number 3? Because there's worlds that are less complicated. This world is like door number 3. You have door number 1. It's a version of Earth. It's heavy, but not like this. Door number 2, it's in the middle ground. Door number 3, yes, you're in the edge of hell, edge of purgatory. Not fully, there are parts of it, but not fully in total damnation. It's kind of like you're on the diving board of self-destruction, but you can go to other places and not fall. Like, there's other places you can swim and you'll be okay, but there's other places you can swim to, like, those are murky waters. If you think you can find your way out, think again. There's just different experiences, as you can see. And you can say that door number, we use the pool in that analogy, because it is really about, there's, or a water hole or something like that. Some are murky and not, you're testing yourself, but there's others that are a little bit more clear. So it has to do with decision making. So, like the ocean, that can be, some of you know not to go into the ocean because you have so many incarnations that are being lost at sea, whatever, war, whatever it is. So you've already been to that rodeo, but many here have not, and they expect to go to the ocean and accomplish anything, and that might be true. But also you can see Mother Nature in its true glory too. How the light side and the dark side, it all depends. Depends on where you're at too. Depends on, because on a soul journey, like you go out into the ocean, you feel like you're fearless, and your soul agrees to maybe a last minute agreement. It's like, okay, send me a storm and we'll see what happens with you. And that can make or break you. So, blessings.